respond to your questions and to address you. As you know, when we were informed that we had COVID-19 in our country and we had the first patient, the President decided that he was going to take immediate steps. And one of those steps included washing your hands for 20 seconds with soap. And the response from some of our people was, but we don't have water. So we decided that we needed to attend to this as a matter of urgency. And the President wanted to see how far we are so that he can continue urging people to wash their hands. We have the President here now, and we're extremely grateful that he took time to come and see our operation, and my staff is overjoyed. Thank you, Mr. President, for coming.
Well, thank you, Minister, and thank you for enabling me to come to Rand Water to come and see this world-class operation of looking at the layout of water distribution throughout the country, particularly at this time when we've urged all our people in terms of fighting COVID-19 coronavirus that one of the best ways obviously is to have social distance, isolation, but the personal hygiene side must also be something that we focus on in getting people to wash their hands for at least 20 seconds with soap. And as the Minister said, many of our people did say that they don't have access to water, and that then led us to immediately embark on a massive project of distributing water tanks throughout the country. We have procured 400,000 or so water tanks, and these are being distributed. I now had an opportunity to speak to all the provinces in our country through the digital technology, and I was able to see the people who are working on water throughout the length and the breadth of the country. And Rand Water has become the real nerve center of monitoring our distribution of water. Rand Water itself has a network of up to 80% of water usage in the country. And this morning I was able to see the whole country and even far-flung areas, even some of the remotest parts of our country, where we are now distributing water. There are obviously still some challenges, but we are going to overcome them. And I would say that COVID-19, much as it is a pandemic that we don't need in our lives, has given us an opportunity as a country to work in a different way, to reach out to our people and deliver the most important resource that any human being needs, which is water. And Rand Water Minister and the deputy ministers, as well as the officials, have really lived up to the expectations that we had, and I commend them. I really do commend them, because I saw this in operation myself and was able to talk to some of the people who are right there installing these tanks in the deepest rural areas of our country. I was able to see them in real time. So this for me has been a most important visit, to come and see the command center of water distribution throughout the country. So here we are doing extremely well, and I'm confident that if we are able to spread water distribution throughout the country, we should be able to reduce the levels of infection. And I must also commend the CEO and the various other officials about the high level of consciousness about COVID-19, that they've distributed masks, the sanitizers, and the pamphlets that are attached on every wall in the building. It basically is showing and demonstrating that we've got to take this pandemic seriously. So my spirits are lifted. They've been lifted by the work that is being done here. And I just want to reiterate once again to the rest of the country that coronavirus is still with us, and we need to continue keeping that social distance, isolation, washing our hands, and making sure that we do not spread this disease from person to person. So I'm delighted to have come here, and Minister, thank you very much for having allowed me to come and see your operation. CEO, well done, and all the other officials, as well as advisors who are advising the Minister. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll take 3 questions. We only have time for 3. We'll take 3. I see, Brazwa, you've got your hand up. CD, then we're at the back.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Having seen what you've seen now, it's just been more than a week since you announced the lockdown. So I know you're probably still going to assess further and see further details. But what's your feeling? Do you think the compliance is good enough for you to lift the lockdown, or by the look of things, perhaps we're going to extend it?
Well, we're still doing an assessment on the effectiveness of the lockdown. In terms of compliance, we're finding that many of our people throughout the country are abiding by the lockdown and its regulations. There are pockets here and there of people who are still getting on with their lives as though there is no coronavirus. And we want to also say to those people, much as we are right in the middle of the lockdown period, that this is a serious, serious disease. It is affecting people throughout the world. And we as South Africans must also take it seriously. We must abide by the regulations that have been published by government. We will be able to make a proper, if you like, scientific assessment in a few days' time to see how well this lockdown is serving the people of our country. But what I can say, if we had not locked down South Africa as we have, I can tell you without any shadow of doubt that the infection rate in South Africa would have been a lot higher than what we have. So the lockdown, by all intents and purposes, has been one of those important measures that we have used to save lives, to contain the spread of the pandemic. So from that side alone, we were correct in locking down our country. And let me say, many other countries are following suit. They are now seeing the effectiveness of locking down. Of course, it impacts on the economy negatively, but it is important to save lives, because lives are important and the lives of our people matter. The economy is going to take a real knock, and we will come up with strategies of how we re-engineer our economy and get it to move forward. But lives matter, and the lives of each South African do matter, and that is why I continue to say, let us take these regulations seriously.
Thank you, sir. CD?
Thank you. Sidi Madia from News 24. Mr. President, what do you say to members of your own cabinet who aren't necessarily practicing what you're preaching? You say to us, don't visit your friends, stay locked down. This weekend we've seen pictures of Minister Stella Ndabeni visiting a friend. What is your message to your own members, and also, will you be taking action against the minister?
I have seen the picture of Minister Ndabeni Abrahams sitting at a luncheon with a number of friends and other people. I have asked her to come and see me, so she's going to come and see me, and I'm going to have a discussion with her about the impact of visuals like those on what we are trying to do, because we are trying to instill a clear message to all our people that social distance is important. Let us stay at home. Let us not be going around with visitations, and if you have to, it must be work related. Like now, I have come here for a job related visit to come and inspect what we are doing. After this, I am going straight home. I am not going to my sister's home. I'm not going to any relative's home. I'm going straight home, because this is what the lockdown provisions should be all about. So yes, I will be having a discussion with the minister, and let's leave it there for now.
Mr. President, what would you say is the government's single biggest challenge at the moment, outside of people really, or some people not doing what they're supposed to?
Well, our most important challenge is to get everybody to abide by the regulations that we have put out. That is my biggest challenge, to get all of us as South Africans to abide. But as part of that, my biggest challenge is to stop the spread of the virus. Stopping the spread of the virus and leveling, getting the spread of the virus to level and to flatten, not to spike, is one of my biggest challenges, and also to stop the deaths of those who could succumb to coronavirus. But if you care to know, also making sure that the economy of our country is in a position that can sustain the lives of our people beyond coronavirus. So those are the key challenges that we face as a nation. And we are going to be coming up with strategies, with plans of how we address South African challenges beyond coronavirus. But right now we're focusing on stopping the spread, stopping the deaths, and making sure that we flatten the incidence of the spread of the virus.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Minister.
Thank you.
President, does
Stay
the-
safe. Stay safe, all of us.
This is goodbye.
This is goodbye. Goodbye. Goodbye to everyone. Bye-bye.